Hey guys, I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios, and I am coming at you today with another reaction video by request. I am going to be reviewing Yebba, and we're going to just get right into it. I'm super excited to hear this. I've never heard it before, as always. I have no idea if it's a studio recording or if it's a live performance, but I'm going to be reviewing exactly what I see and letting you know my professional opinion about it. Always be nice. So lots of people are eagerly waiting the performance. It's looking like it's live. Interesting tone. Beautiful run. Nice.
You closed the door and lay down next to me, but then I heard you say her name in your sleep. Your dirty secrets too far gone to keep. About to lose my
Okay, I've heard enough to say some stuff. So, she first of all doesn't sound like what she looks like, which is awesome, right? We see that on The Voice all the time. That's why there's a TV show about it. She would be a perfect contestant on there. Although, as successful as she is, I'm pretty sure she doesn't need a voice. Sorry, Voice. She has some Adele qualities to her voice. Do you hear it? That kind of raspy, rough, yet silky at the same time tonal quality. I like it. It's very bluesy. It's very texturized. It if I had to equate it to a color, it would be like crushed blue velvet, right? That's kind of what it feels like and looks like to me if I had to change her sound into a feel, into a look. And that's lovely. I really like that. What I really enjoy most about her, aside from all of those things that I just said, is she has really creative runs. And they usually run up. Most people's runs usually run down. So twice now, she started from a place that was lower and went high. And yes, she might fall off of that high, but the choices of notes that she chooses on the way up are not stereotypical, and they're not ones that you can kind of anticipate, right? So it sort of catches you off guard. It's a nice little treat for your ears. Very nice so far.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Pretty.
My mind. About to lose
Yeah.
my mind.
Nice, nice.
I think about you all the time.
Okay, super vibey there, right? Almost primitive, almost guttural, right? You could sort of feel the pain, even though this is a song and she's clearly not in real physical pain. This is the type of singing that makes you feel something, right? You could be driving in a car, or you could be sitting intentionally watching her in a concert, and you're gonna feel those emotions that she's feeling right there. And that's because of the way that she's singing. She doesn't really honestly care what sound is coming out, as long as the emotion is coming out. Now, as a vocal coach, there's a really fine line between the two, right? Because my job is to make you sound amazing, right? And if she were my student, my job right there would be to make her sound amazing. But I'll ask you the question, at what point is sounding amazing worth more than feeling everything? And I honestly don't think there is a point. I think the feeling has to come first and the sound follows. And I think she understands that. And that's why that moment was really powerful right there. Good job to her.
You can't even look me dead in the eyes. Her love is strong, she got you hypnotized.
All right, so I get what she's doing there, right? She's kind of building up angst, building up anger. I just talked to you about how feeling is more important than the sound, right? Usually it is, and I think that she did a great job up until here of conveying that. But you can try too hard also to get someone to feel something instead of just internalizing it yourself. And I think that she's trying a little too hard right here, because when she's doing hypnotized, it's starting to feel a little forced there instead of hypnotized, where my vibrato is still even and it's definitely more gritty and intense, but it doesn't become almost a tremolo, okay? And tremolo is, for those of you who don't know, tremolo is a really exaggerated and slowed down wave of the vibrato. Vibrato is pleasing mostly when it's like faster, but as you age, if you don't continue to support with your abs for vibrato, it's really easy for that to become and that sounds like booty, frankly. So it wasn't quite there, but her forcefulness of getting that note out and getting that anger out within the note almost made it sound like that. So I wasn't a huge fan of that vocal delivery right there.
You say you love me, but
Also, this is a little low for her, just slightly. You say, I mean, I can sing that note, but it's a little low for her. You say. So here's an example. If it's too low for me, you say. That's kind of like, I'm struggling with that right now. That's kind of where she is. And I'm seeing this sort of like lowered chin thing going on, which is an involuntary action, frankly. When you do low notes, it's your body's jerk reaction to do this. You want to. It's the very thing that's keeping you from hitting the note, though. You say, instead of you say. I don't look attractive there, and I don't sound good either. So she needed to keep her chin up and think of the note as higher and lighter and brighter than, oh my gosh, I need to dig down to this note. That's the exact thing you shouldn't be thinking about. And that's the second or third time she's done that. There was another time at the very beginning where she did it too, and I thought maybe it's just because of the beginning, you know, she's trying to like keep it soft, but this is the second or third time she's done it, so I'm gonna say something about it.
I know it's a lie.
See, now that was a good example of good vibrato that still had angst and anger in it. A lie! Yeah, there was still power to that. There was still anger in that. There's still emotion in that. But the vibrato from that one sounded way better than the other one. Nice. Nice. Nice change from chest to head. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. I like you a lot, but if you're gonna do that, I'm about to lose my. You can do it quiet, and you can do it with good technique without breaking up completely. There's a difference between sounding defeated and wilty and just sounding cracky. Like the vocal notes are cracking. They're not supported enough. It's not. Well, I don't want to say that. It is not supported enough, but it's almost like it's too high for her, and she's not trying hard enough to get the notes out. You can't back off completely because then you're just gonna have nothing but air. Hear that? That's me not supporting, but trying to hit a high note instead of where I'm still getting the breathy quality, but I'm still using my abs to catapult the air out to get the sound moving forward and out of my mouth instead of stuck where it's just air in the back of my throat, okay? Nice.
I'm about to lose
Beautiful. Beautiful.
About to lose my
Beautiful. Beautiful.
About to lose my
Nice. You hear that double tone in her voice right there? That's not a choice. That's something that's in her voice. Now, a lot of singers have that. Sometimes I do too. On certain emotions, certain vowels, certain notes, right? I don't want you to think, oh, she's got nose, or oh, I sound like that, and that's bad. That's sometimes just the way that your voice is. But if you're trying to alleviate some of that double tone, I will say that the one thing that does it is support from your abs. So a lot of times if you're trying to manufacture a double tone, you sing a big note like that and you don't give it all of what it needs. So you don't give it all of the support it needs, and then you create that kind of raspy roughness, right? But that does cost you something. You know, in my studio, we have this concept called vocal dollars. And let's say, you know, you're given 20 vocal dollars a day, like an allowance. Well, that probably costs you about 5, you know, and once you've used them, you know. Your voice is not an instrument that you can go and replace the strings on. You simply then need to rest and repair it to have the 20 again the next day. So I'm always very aware, okay, how much is this costing me when I'm singing? What can I do to get the most out of my money that day, okay? And that is one of the things I know to be true as a singer, because I've done it myself, where it costs you a lot. Nice. Just hanging on to the mic stand like, ah.
No way, no way, she can't take you away from me.
I really like her emotional conviction, though. She's really in it, and that's awesome.
I sure won't say, but I'll be damned if I ever leave.
Kind of wish, this is just a wardrobe note, I kind of wish she wasn't wearing that green thing that tied over to the side. I sort of wish that she just had on the blue underneath. Not only do I think it might have been more flattering, but I think that it matches beautifully with the backdrop that she has in the back. And it would have matched with him better too. Just a side note.
No way, she won't take you away from me.
She's struggling even with that note now because she sang so high for so long. It's harder to get down to low notes now.
I sure won't stay, but I'll be damned if I ever leave.
Nice vocal flexibility
If
there.
I ever leave, anybody know what I'm talking about?
Nice, love that. Audience interaction.
She can't take you away
Beautiful mix.
from me. Yeah.
Nice, that was a really good one.
No way, and I sure won't stay, but I'll be damned if I ever leave.
A little rough there.
In my mind, I think about you all the time.
Nice. I like that drift off of that note.
My mind, you always be mine.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
That's that one.
That's that one. Very nice. Okay. So that's very much like a coffee house vibe. You can see even in the video that people are just sort of sitting wherever. It's not a formal concert style thing. So I think that for the setting, her voice and sound was completely appropriate, very apropos, and very effective too. Everybody seemed to really like it a lot. I was concerned for her on a couple moments in the song where she seemed to vocal fry a little too much. And I felt like technique-wise, she could have done better with her low notes had she thought of them differently. Because a lot of times, singing is 90% mental and 10% talent. And so if you're thinking, wow, I gotta get down to this low note, that's the exact thing that's gonna keep you from getting down to that low note. You actually need to think opposition of that. So if you're going down, you need to think high, light, bright, not low, deep, and thick, right? And so a couple little tweaks such as that would have been really beneficial for her. I really liked her tone though. It was very interesting, very coffee shoppy, and most importantly, she really committed to the emotion of the song. You could tell that she owned it, you could tell that she was in the moment, and that she really didn't care about anybody else around her who was listening. It was that moment to convey the message of that song. So I really enjoyed that about her. If you liked it, please like it. Please subscribe to the page because there's going to be lots more where this came from. In the description box below, if you have questions, if you want some one-on-one time, you can get that in booking some sessions with me or one of my coaches. You can also take this awesome 8-week course that I'm rolling out by clicking below as well on that. My methodology, for those of you who don't know, is called Sing Smarter, Not Harder. It is a lot about what you think when you sing, not so much about the talent. And one of our mottos is the singing is 90% mental, 10% talent. So spoiler alert, if you're a very cerebral person and you're trying to think your way into singing better, well, you absolutely can. And there are a lot of my students who have grown leaps and bounds by just changing their thought life when they're singing. Now, there's a lot of other application heavy things we do when we sing, exercise and things like that as well. But changing this means changing a lot more than you think it would be when it comes to something sonically like singing. So thanks so much for watching. We're going to be doing some more soon, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.